the views and opinions of our advertisers and management of Pacific Telestations Incorporated. You're watching Buzz with Jess Lujan.
Good evening, Guam. I'm Jess Lujan. Welcome to this edition of The Buzz. In continuation of our celebration of Mes Chamorro, we have two individuals tonight that actually not only is one a writer and director, but also an actor on a web series called Siha. Believe that? A Chamorro soap opera. Yeah. Shame and scandal. Anyway, welcome, Roselle. Roselle Albans here she's the writer and director for Siha, and we have Steve Torres here, who plays Napu.
Yes.
You're one of the actors there. Hey, welcome. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
You know, I just found out about this last week, and I said, really, Chamorro soap opera? I said, this is fantastic because our life is a soap opera. You know? But tell me the genesis of this thing. I mean, you are UOG students, right? As we speak, yeah.
It started as a class project. One of my classmates and I, we were in this class, our Chamorro culture class last semester, and we had to do this big media project at the end of to turn at the end of the semester, and we decided, why don't we do a soap opera? And we had to have some sort of the language embedded into the project. So we decided to do the soap opera. It was spoken completely in Chamorro. And you know, a lot of the people I work with, I told them about it, and they're like, let's turn that into a web series. And so we took the original project and we decided to actually make it a web series. So now here we are.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a web series. So you said it was totally in Chamorro. So the writers, yourself as a writer, you had to basically write it in Chamorro, or did you write it in English and then translate it in Chamorro?
Because I'm not fluent in Chamorro.
Sure.
I'm not even Chamorro to begin with.
Okay.
And so
but I know you took Chamorro class in
Yes,
in
I'm actually
school,
a minor. I'm a minor
you're
in Chamorro.
You're a Chamorro minor.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay.
And so I write the scripts in English, and then I have them translated, and then we have them revised, and we have them revised again. And so we go through a process to make sure that the language is spoken as accurately as possible.
And properly stated, I guess, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got this. So you played Napu, and well, first of all, let's. How did you come up with Siha? Siha, I mean they or them. What? How did you come up with that?
Well, we were just looking for a name that was soap opera-y, so kind of like cheesy yet dramatic at the same time, but simple. So you know, can you just imagine, like, you know, at the beginning of the credits, just like all of the cats just like looking dramatically at the camera and Siha, and that's basically what I was looking for. Okay, that's what I was looking for.
Okay, so all right, so Steve, as Napu, are you the main man of the show?
I wouldn't say that I'm the main person.
Yeah, okay.
Because there are two of us lead male characters.
Okay.
So I play one of them, but I'm not the main man.
Okay. Well, tell us about Napu and Napu's what Napu's dealings are of course in Siha.
Well, Napu is the older cousin of Bernadette. Everyone thinks I'm the father for some reason, but I'm really the older cousin. They grew up together. They've gone to the same grandmother's house every weekend to help clean, you know, all that. And he's very protective over Bernadette. He's like a typical Chamorro where no matter who you date, they're never good enough. So you're gonna have that problem with the other half.
Or whoever you date is your relative? Anyway.
Or that too. So yeah, he's the more serious character.
Okay.
He's very protective, and that's why you see him getting mad at Bernadette in the first episode.
Okay. So. And of course, you just aired, and we were talking about this before you got on set. You just started airing on the web, basically. Was it last week, Thursday? Okay. And so far, you've got 1,200 hits. I'm sure after the show, you're gonna double, if not triple that number. And this is the first of how many series is this? I mean, what do you intend to do? Because it was a class project, but I'm sure now it's beyond the project anymore, right?
Yeah. Well, so we have one season right now.
Okay.
And the season is comprised of like 9 episodes.
Okay.
So right now we have 9 episodes that are being shot and being put into post-production right now. Okay. So it's gonna be a long series.
Yeah, I mean, and so as a writer, how much, of course, this is based on a fictitious family, I guess it is, but, with fictitious family, we always kind of relate it to maybe some of our dealings, some people we know, so as fictitious as we want to say it is, sometimes we're really writing about ourselves or something that we know about, so how real is it?
Well, I guess it can be pretty real. I mean, like,
Yeah.
you know, sometimes we're looking at the characters and we see similarities and, like, the people that we know,
Sure,
or
sure,
things that have
sure.
happened in the past, and we're like, oh,
Sure.
that's kind of funny. I don't really think about it
Sure.
as it happens, but I have to pull from somewhere because, you know, I'm trying to also not only highlight, you know, the language, but also, like, the values here. So
Sure,
I have to make
sure.
sure that, you know, the people on Guam can relate to it
Sure.
and be like, hey, this has happened to me before. You know,
Yeah.
and, like, I'm seeing some of the comments on PDN and everybody, like, they have all these opinions on the characters already. So I'm just like, I'm loving it so much. So people are like, Brendan, Dad, what's wrong with you? And then other
That's
people are like,
fine.
man,
That's great.
Napo, I don't like you.
Hey, Napo, watch out, man.
I know. I gotta hide now.
Yeah, they're, especially after tonight, right? But
Yes.
but anyway, going back to that, and I mean, of course, Siha, are you? I mean, you said, of course, Chamorro is your minor, so you speak some Chamorro. You're not fluent. Steve, are you fluent in Chamorro?
I am not. I
You're not?
only
Okay.
wish I was, but
Yeah.
I'm not.
Okay. Well, let me ask you, because this is all spoken in Chamorro. What has this done, again, to yourself as well? What has this done to your reading and Chamorro reading and speaking ability, even if for yourself, Steve? What has this done to-
I can read and write in Chamorro, and I also have the strongest accent in the cast. So,
Of Chamorro accent?
Of Chamorro accent.
Okay,
So,
okay.
yeah, they think I speak fluently because of how strong my accent is,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
because I'm from the South,
Sure.
and my family does speak Chamorro.
Okay, okay.
So-
But again, what is this? What has this done? You know, in doing this show and you know, telling a story basically. What has this done to your Chamorro-ness? Has it enlightened it more now? Has it now shown the importance now? Because sometimes we take things for granted, right? Take things for granted. We were talking about that before we got on the show. About, you know, I grew up speaking Chamorro. English came on basically when I was 7, but then, you know, after Westernization and all that, we started speaking English, and I used to be able to bring thoughts in. People would talk to me in Chamorro, and I blur it out right away. But after a while, after you're speaking English, and people speak to you in Chamorro, you're kind of taking the Chamorro, translated to English, and then coming out in Chamorro again, which takes a little longer. And as we said, not all English words can translate into Chamorro.
Yeah.
So I've gotten better doing my radio show, you know, because it comes in and comes out smoother in Chamorro. So what has this done, again, to your speaking ability and reading ability and who you are as a Chamorro?
For me personally, I've always been very proud Chamorro kind person. Growing up, my brothers and I, we were like, oh, we want to perpetuate and preserve the Chamorro culture. We would literally get Tanantongan wood and we'd make spears, although we didn't know how to make spears. And so for me, it does further that stronger sense of Chamorro pride. It's something I'm super proud to be a part of because I wanted this,
Sure.
but I do theater, so to have this in film, another way to do it, it just makes it so awesome and makes me even more proud. And I'm glad to see that someone has taken that initiative.
Sure. And again, as a Chamorro, you said you're probably the most fluent. You got the accent, the Chamorro accent, and all that. So you mess right in there. But you also probably bring, because you're Chamorro and your family speaks Chamorro and all that. So you probably even bring, when you're acting, you bring the sentiment of the Chamorro.
Yes.
Because it's, you know, it's one thing to, you know, when you're portraying a certain race, right? And you can speak it, great. But you don't portray, you don't come through as that culture, that race. I mean, as a Chamorro, you can, you know, when you're Chamorro, you feel that Chamorro, you know, you feel Chamorro. You know, as a matter of fact, when I'm anywhere, right, I hear Chamorro, right? I hear them speaking, you know, I could be in the States somewhere and I'm shopping and I hear the next hour, hey, Mungisti, you know, oh, that's Chamorro, you know, and then there are just certain things that you just feel you got that bond, right? You got that connection right away. You may not have to speak, may not even say hello to each other, but there's certain things and the way it's said and how it's said, you just got the automatic connection, and I'm sure that happens to all races, right? Yeah. So again, bringing that as one whose family speaks it, do you bring that in there as well, the sentiment of the Chamorro and how, you know, we're passionate about, you know, certain things that we're talking about?
Yeah, I think I do. It's like when Napu gets mad, I put more emphasis in my anger, whereas in English I could be like, shut up, but in Chamorro I'd be like, "Famakilo patsok mo," you know, it'd be stronger, be like in your face and make you feel scared. You're like, So I do bring that
It's
sentiment.
kind of
as much as I can.
it's kind of when we say leche, you know,
Yes.
and we say leche 10 is more. 10 is greater than leche. it brings that level, right? And you have to be Chamorro to understand it.
Yeah.
You know, you have to grow up to understand that once you add a number to it, it becomes more. So again with that, so the other actors, you're not the main actor. Who's the main actor in Siha?
I don't think there really is.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't say that there is. Like they all have, different stories, and they all are intertwined, and they all know each other.
Yeah.
I know that one of the biggest stories is the relationship between Bernadette and Antonio, but I wouldn't say that they are the main characters.
Okay,
Per se.
okay.
So I think that it's like all about the four of them. Like,
the four of them,
You
okay.
know, it's kind of like how in Friends, like everybody has their own story and
Sure,
everybody's kind
sure,
of going.
sure.
So it's like that.
I mean, you know, I'm sure again after tonight, and sure after again you getting all these comments, you know, I think you open up a can of worms there. You know? And I feel that this is something this is going to evolve into something bigger. Were you guys
definitely.
involved in the film fest? You know, a few months ago.
Yes, I am.
Yeah,
I was
okay.
actually the media manager in 2013.
Yeah,
Drama
and I know
National
that because
Film
you were in my radio show. So
Yes, I
voting
was.
that.
I remember going
yeah,
into
yeah.
your
But no,
studio.
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
But I can see this evolving into something, and should be supported. And I can see you guys. I can see Roselle knocking on somebody's door, maybe Kaha or somebody like that. And say, hey, we're looking at some bigger and better things here. You know,
Yeah.
it's fantastic. We're gonna take a quick break, pay some bills, and then come back talk more about Siha, this Chamorro soap opera with one of the actors, of course, Steve Torres as Napu, and then one of the writers and directors, Roselle Almonds. We'll be right back.